I want to start by saying thank you. I'm seeing so many wonderful things happening that reflect our readiness and our getting prepared for this unfortunate situation that we find ourselves in with the coronavirus. I'm seeing fantastic communications out to families and communities. I'm seeing collaboration between school districts, but also between public service agencies like emergency operations centers and local health departments. I'm seeing lots of commitment and dedication to thinking about creative ways to be ready in the case where schools close. You may have heard the governor's press conference yesterday when he indicated that he wasn't taking any action just yet, but he continued to emphasize the importance of being prepared. And that's exactly what people are doing across the state. I also want to say thank you for continuing to provide educational services to our kids. That's our fundamental mission, and it's really important to provide some of that continuity and stability to the educational experience for our students. It's this kind of commitment and ongoing collaboration that's what's going to position us to be successful. I'm not going to miss an opportunity to continue to emphasize the basics. Remind all your staff and your students to make sure they're washing their hands regularly. Make sure they're sneezing and coughing in their sleeve. Make sure that they stay home if they feel even remotely sick. All those other things, including being very attentive to cleaning surfaces and disinfecting. The other thing that it's important to remember is for the most recent information, continue to go to the Department of Health website, coronavirus.ohio.gov. They'll have continuing updates that will be of significance to anybody that has an interest in additional information. The other thing I'm emphasizing is try to be attentive to any situations where stigma or discrimination surface. These can be challenging times, and if students feel like they're being looked at as being problematic in some way, shape, or form by virtue of the situation, we as the adults need to step in and make sure our students feel safe and supported. Next Tuesday is Election Day. Voting is one of the most cherished aspects of our democracy. That's why we have to do everything we can to make sure we do it properly and we protect it. Several schools serve as polling places, and after consultation with the Department of Health, it's safe to vote in a school. One of the important aspects of that safety is the fact that students and voters are separated. This has been a long-standing practice, and it serves us well at this particular time. Steps are taken to ensure that separateness, and that's a great protection for both voters and for students. The other thing is that voting over the course of an entire day is a lot different than a large group of people from different geographic areas congregating in close quarters in one place. That means that voting where there are a few people in line and so forth and so on is a lot safer kind of circumstance and can be done safely and effectively. Finally, the local boards of elections are providing regulations and rules to their poll workers to ensure that surfaces are cleaned and that necessary hygienic practices are used on Election Day. All these things together means that it's safe to vote in a school, and I encourage you to get out and vote. At his press conference yesterday, Governor DeWine made reference to restricting and postponing any large gatherings. He made an emphatic point, and we'll probably hear more about that later today from him. I've been really encouraged because I've seen so many schools already making announcements about canceling large gatherings. I know those are tough decisions to make, and I know the students can be affected by them and some opportunities may be missed, but it's important to take those steps in the interest of preserving public health. We have canceled many events here at the Department of Education, and we've been keeping a list of those on our website for public information purposes. I encourage you to continue looking for those opportunities. We also see many other organizations canceling events, and that's great. The more we can do to cooperate and collaborate around eliminating these large gatherings, the better off we're all going to be. At yesterday's press conference, Governor DeWine made it exceptionally clear that if a school has to close, we are going to work diligently, the governor, myself, and the legislature, to ensure that requirements can be waived, including those around testing. This really reinforces the idea that we all have to act with the best interest of the safety and health of students and our communities as a first priority. We're going to be committed to doing those kinds of things and don't want to create any kind of unreasonable burden or a compliance obstacle to making sure we get through this successfully. Let me conclude again by saying thank you. Thank you for all the great work you're doing. Thank you for all the work you're committed to doing in terms of getting ready and being prepared. It's so important. Let's keep those channels of communication open. Keep communicating with each other and communicating with us. And our commitment is that we're going to be there to help support you and to make sure we're attending to those things that allow us to be successful working together. And above all, take care of your students and take care of your community, because at the end of the day, that's what this is really all about. Keep up the great work you do each and every day.